challenges do you see in implementing or to address the curve of human trafficking in Pakistan?
Yes. Well, thank you very much. It's a very important regional conference, so it's an opportunity to take the best practice. There are other countries which are participating today and would be able to come here and share what have been their experience. I think that here in Pakistan you have already an act taken in 2018, which is a very good step. The implementation is probably what is needed to be looked at. I think that all partners have to come to make sure that they bring their contribution from the civil society to government agency and international organization. Eventually people are victims, and that's the sad thing, is that there are toads, there are crooks, there are people who exploit the vulnerability of people who are in search of a better world, better job opportunities. So that needs to be tackled. The best way to end this course is also to look at a very strong law enforcement and putting people to the book, those who are actually criminals. If there is impunity or a feeling of impunity, they just can continue and exploit the poor, the marginalized, and so that's an issue. And these people come and flood the numbers of illegal immigrants in Europe, which basically is counterproductive for the legal immigration and people who want to come legally and contribute legally. So these people are actually victims of this, the counter effect of the illegal immigration.
Government role in curbing the menace of human trafficking, and what are the future initiatives you are going to take with the collaboration of Pakistan government?
Well, as has been mentioned, this is a crime that affects every country in the world, and I think an important evidence of the world commitment to this is that the global instruments on human trafficking and smuggling of migrants are some of the most highly ratified in the world. So as by very nature it's a transnational crime. It involves all countries, and to address it, countries need to work together to address the problem. So there's support works on many levels. First of all, with the ratification of treaties, then countries need proper laws in place, and I think one of the big successes of the first phase of the initiative here was the government of Pakistan implementing 2 new laws in 2018. And so now the work that follows is there needs to be national capacity building related to these laws. There needs to be a lot of advocacy, awareness raising, and that involves a partnership between countries, between civil society, between all stakeholders as well. And there need to be partnerships not only at the national level but international level to bring this forward. To focus on protecting the victims. If victims feel protected, then we're better able to understand the problem and to work together to get those who would exploit vulnerable people.
Pakistan to cover the issue of human trafficking in Pakistan.
Thank you very much. Well, in Pakistan, we're very happy to be building on the successes already that have been achieved in the last 4 years, and we count very much on the strong engagement from the government of Pakistan. And we're very pleased to support the passing of new legislation on trafficking in persons and migrant smuggling. So one of our main aims now going forward is to help implement and roll out this legislation, because it's one thing to have legislation in place, and it's another thing to make it work in practice. So we're very hopeful going forward of the impact that this can have.
What are the challenges you are facing to implement these rules in Pakistan?
I mean, the challenges for combating trafficking in persons and migrant smuggling are the same throughout the world. So we can speak about a global picture. So these are very complex crimes, difficult to investigate. They're quite complex in terms of gathering the evidence, often requiring cross-border cooperation, which is the purpose of the meeting today. So how can we actually help investigators and prosecutors make the connections across the border to get the evidence that they need to build a successful case. We also are hoping to build more robust cases that are not only relying upon victim testimony, which is very important, but also on forensic evidence, on evidence related to the financial aspects of the crime, in such a way as to strengthen the quality of the investigations and the prosecutions.
Thank you.